What is good, guys, man? Thank you for tuning back into the channel, man. If you're new, make sure you hit that sub button down below to be notified for every single video that I do drop, man. How you know you're notified is when you hit that subscribe button. You'll hit that bell, then you'll press all. That's how you know you're notified. Also, go follow the Instagram, and it's also in the link in the description, man. Once we get to 100 followers over there, I will definitely start posting content over there. If you have not checked out part 1 and part 2, you gotta go check it out before you looking at part 3. Without further ado, let's go on ahead and get into this video.
Part 3. It's Halloween day and we're set to move into this historic home. I go back to the house with my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, and his family so we can kind of do a quick pickup and also drop off small things. We all kind of spread out throughout the house and start dusting, vacuuming the carpets, wiping windowsills. There were teeth that were huge with roots. There were baby teeth. There were capped teeth, like gold teeth, all kinds of teeth. It seemed almost like we all walked out of the rooms we were cleaning at the same time with a bunch of teeth in our hands. We think it's weird, but we're trying to remain optimistic and not think too much into it, so we all place the teeth into a little drawer on a built-in china cabinet. We continue cleaning the house. My ex-boyfriend's parents keep telling us that the house is scary and that it feels weird. I felt the same exact way, but I just smiled and laughed it off like there's nothing wrong. The house is beautiful. We left the house for a little while, and when we returned, we noticed that the teeth were gone. They were nowhere to be found, and nobody had been to the house. Everybody went outside to start getting big furniture. I stayed inside with my 2 young boys. I was getting them set up to watch TV so we could start doing the heavy lifting when I noticed the windowsill looked a little different, and I was kind of worried that maybe some of the cleaning products we used weren't good on this natural wood. I rushed over to go and wipe it off when I noticed that there was fresh carving in the windowsill. The carving said, "We will find you." And as I read this, I could feel a really dark presence come over me. I started to feel physically drained and ill. I didn't want to see that, so I rushed over to my bag. I grabbed a pin, I went back to the window, and I scraped right into the wood. I didn't care about damaging the wood. I scraped it out of the wood. I grabbed both of the kids. We went back outside. I was feeling really scared, but I didn't want to show anybody that I was scared. I was trying to just ignore it. We kind of talked a little bit before grabbing some heavy furniture. The guys grabbed, our beds and stuff and started making their way back up the stairs. I specifically remember turning the TV off before leaving the room and going outside with the kids. When we walked back inside of the house, the TV was on with static on the screen, full blast, and there were 2 built-in study tables inside of that living room.
This definitely sounds like something straight out of a horror movie for sure.
Both sides of the fireplace. There were cabinets that were open, like the built-in desks were opened. The drawers that we placed the teeth in, along with the china cabinet that was built in, all the cabinets, the doors, the drawers were all opened. Me and my kids' grandma just start closing everything, and I noticed on the 2 drawers there was fresh carvings in the wood. There were still shards of wood where it had been carved out. The cabinet on the left side said the same thing as the first. "We will find you." The second cabinet said, "We will take you." I didn't tell anybody that I had read that. I just closed the cabinets and I felt sick to my stomach because I figured this is not a real person. There's no physical person here. This is something we can't see. So it can't be that big of a deal, right? There's a few days before my dad gets out of the hospital. So we're just living in this house. We're just living in it. The house felt very cold. It felt very uncomfortable. It felt very just high-pitched. I can't really explain it, but the house almost felt like there was a power cord running through it. There was a doorbell. I don't know anything about doorbells, but the doorbell it seemed almost like it would have been original to the house. It was probably one of the first doorbells ever made. It would short out sometimes. Like you could sometimes hear it when you push the button. Other times you couldn't hear it. So we just figured we wouldn't use the doorbell. There was also like a little box for the sound probably run through to the back side of the house. So that's where you were able to hear the doorbell the loudest from, the kitchen and like towards the back side of the house. The doorbell seemed to make different sounds. Sometimes it would sound like a buzzer and other times it would sound like a chime. It was very strange. There was also one of those old phones built into the wall, the kind that you would have to like talk into that little speaker and hold the thing to your ear. That didn't have any power to it. We tried to play with it way too much. It didn't work, but we could still hear the phone ringing sometimes. And we couldn't pinpoint where the ringing was coming from. Sometimes it sounded like it was up above the phone, and other times it sounded like it spread throughout the floor. And you could hear it while you were in the shower. You could hear it when you were in the back sunroom. The phone just rang deep inside of the house. We decided to move in my ex-boyfriend's cousin. So he moved in to the upstairs room across from the master room. I completely forgot to mention those two little boxes, those little cutouts, the crawl spaces along the staircase, they never existed. They weren't there. The night we moved into the house, they weren't there. They weren't there. Everybody thought that I was crazy because when I told them how many bedrooms and bathrooms the house had, there was an extra bathroom. And it was in place of the crawl space to the right. And it seemed so strange because there were stairs leading up to where it had like a flat, like the landing of the stairs. You'd think that the bathroom would be right at the top of the landing. But no, the bathroom sat off the stairs. So to get into the bathroom, you had to lean and kind of like wing yourself around the corner into the doorway. The bathroom made no sense. It was not there. The day me and my brother went to view the house, the bathroom was not there. There were two crawl spaces on both sides of the staircase. Those were gone. They weren't filled in. There was no cutouts in the wall. Everything was still original. And this old bathroom that was filled with green tile was in place of the crawl spaces. The very first night that my ex-boyfriend's cousin moved in with us, his bedroom was next to the bathroom that appeared out of nowhere. He said that he started to feel fluish. He said that he sat up in bed and there was a little boy at his feet. He thought that it was one of my sons. He knew it wasn't, but he was trying to tell himself that it was one of my sons and not to worry. He said that the little boy walked out of the bedroom and went out towards the staircase. That little boy became a frequent apparition that we all saw in the house. It took me some time to see him. My dad came home from the hospital. That was also the first apparition he said he saw. He said that one day he was glancing out of the bedroom and he could see the little boy just flash past from the hall closet at the end of the staircase there towards the staircase. He too comforted himself by saying that it was one of my sons. In my son's room, there was a door that would have went to like the underneath of the staircase, just one of those little doors under the staircase. That little closet down there made me so uncomfortable that I had to push a tall boy dresser up against it. I didn't want anything to do with that door. I hated it. It made me extremely uncomfortable. That door almost made me not want my kids to be inside of that room. And I thought that I was doing too much. You know, when it comes to ghosts and paranormal stuff like this, the non-believers don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it. And if you do talk about it, you seem kind of crazy. I didn't want to seem crazy. The house felt pretty comfortable for a while. So my dad's in the house. Karen's coming to visit. The kids are in school. Things are starting to have a flow to them. And then one morning, Karen tells us that there's a man in the house. She tells us that he has to be 6'5", 400 pounds. He wears a plaid shirt and overalls. She said that he's been following her around since she came to the house for the first time, but she didn't want to say anything. She told us that it was so bad to where she didn't feel comfortable going to the house anymore, so she packed her stuff. She packed the things that she brought to the house with her and took it back down to her loft, which was just a few blocks down from the house. She tells us the first time she saw the man, he was leading out of the bathroom door when she was at the bottom of the staircase. She said that when he looked at her and they locked eyes for a second, she not only felt him, but she could think she had seen memories that this man had. She said that he was extremely heavy. There was so much pain and torture in him to where she was choking on him. I'm going to have to continue the story because I'm running out of time.
Man, and the rabbit hole gets deeper with part 3, man. Y'all definitely comment down below what y'all think about this, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm sorry, guys. Part 4 will be coming the next day. Get ready for it. I hope you got your notifications turned on. Yeah, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Already red flags, man. Why y'all even move y'all stuff in the first place? I wouldn't even be that desperate to move in somewhere knowing that that's that type of activity that's going on in that house. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, at the end of my videos, I always say stay inspired, stay motivated, stay grinding to the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.